morning, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on securing the future, data protection and cyber resilience with AI in digital banking, harnessing artificial intelligence to safeguard financial data effectively. To ensure a good webinar session, I would like to remind everyone of our housekeeping rules. All your lines will be muted during the webinar. If you have any questions, please type in the Q&A chat box found in your Zoom. The webinar is being recorded, so the on-demand webinar will be available after. We will share the recording and slides to all the attendees after this webinar. And we'll also ask you to complete a feedback survey before leaving the webinar towards the end. So we'll do this just before we start the Q&A session with our speaker. I'd like to introduce our speaker. Mr. Napoleon Sanchez is our specialist client manager and the digital trust lead of BSI Group Philippines, Inc. He has a professional career that spans over 37 years, of which 27 years as a lead auditor and auditor for information security, privacy, IT services, business continuity, IATF, so that's for automotive, quality management, environmental management, occupational health and safety, among many other qualifications. He is also an approved auditor for ISO 42001, Artificial Intelligence Management System. He has been a management systems lead auditor and trainer since 1999. His 37 plus years of technology and IT work experience includes as the managing partner of International Certification Agency, which is a certification consulting firm, and a production manager at Samsung Electronics. He is also the first lead auditor for IATF in the Philippines. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Nap Sanchez. Turn over to you now, Nap.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And thank you for attending our webinar. And I'm happy that you're all here to join us to these very relevant discussions about protection that we need to implement regarding data protection and cyber resilience with the use of AI in our digital banking. So medyo siguro we will discuss to you. Let's make this webinar in a light condition lang, no? It's a rainy day, but I hope I can share to you some information that everybody of us is being affected, which is digital banking. Okay? So just a 1-hour seminar, and I hope everybody can benefit, at least have the right information with this short time, the right tool and information regarding your digital banking, as well as other, including in the financial institutions such as e-wallet and those other financial firms. Okay, so let me discuss securing the future, which is data protection and cyber resilience with AI in digital banking. Let's begin by looking at why this topic matters today and why it has become a boardroom discussion rather than simply an IT discussion. Now, we have experiencing a lot of digital transformation. Okay, and of course, financial institutions are rapidly transforming their services to meet customer expectations. Of course, it gives us convenience, a lot of efficiency in our mobile banking, digital onboarding, real-time payments, and cloud technologies, which create a lot of opportunities. However, every new digital capability also introduces additional cyber risk that organizations must effectively manage. When was the last time that you have encountered that your bank suddenly have a stoppage on an outage? Maybe there is a real reason behind that. Maybe a problem related to the digital infrastructure. We don't know. Okay, but many of us experience as well losing our money, losing our identity. Okay, with the use of mobile banking, this is really predominant these days. Okay, so AI has a dual role. It is both an opportunity and a challenge. It helps organizations detect fraud, automate processes, and improve customer experience. Everybody of us are really happy chatting with the chatbots and giving us support for uh, for our needs or queries or help that we require for this digital infrastructure. Which at the same time, cyber criminals are increasingly using AI as well to create more sophisticated attacks, such as phishing campaigns and deepfake fraud. This is a reality now, and not only banks are using AI, including those cyber criminals who have bad intentions of stealing not only our money, also our data. Now, bank robbers are not wearing masks anymore, brandishing weapons and tell us to lay down while they are taking the money in the bank. This is not happening anymore because they have transitioned as well to digital banking. Okay, so we need to have a holistic security approach. Effective cyber resilience requires integrated focus on people, process, and technology. Okay? Many organizations focus heavily on technology. However, effective cybersecurity depends on these three elements working together, as I've mentioned, the people, the processes, and technology. Strong technology without governance or awareness is really enough to stop modern threats. Our webinar objectives is to discussion about blending of business insight, regulatory knowledge, and practical security for digital banking leaders. Okay? We will explore how AI is changing the security landscape and examine practical approaches that organizations can adopt to strengthen resilience and build trust. I hope by the end of the seminar, we have a clearer understanding of how data protection, cyber resilience, and responsible AI work together to support digital banking. And I hope you will be interested enough in hearing or attending our webinar rather than AI-generated webinars as well that you can procure anytime online or attend. Okay, of course, this presentation was also developed through the use of AI as well. We have our leverage on that as well. Okay, what we will cover in the next 60 minutes, we will dive into the discussion. Let me give you a quick roadmap of where we'll be going through the next hour. Number one is digital banking threat landscape. Okay, we will discuss about the overview of threats, highlights the critical needs that are needed for data protection and cyber resilience in banking today. We need to be cyber resilient. Cyber resilient, not only prevention of attacks, but as well as recovery from incidents happening nowadays. Okay? So understanding the risk provides context for everything else we'll discuss. Number two is we will discuss about core data protection principles. As I've mentioned, not only money, resources are being stolen, money resources are being stolen by cyber criminals. More importantly are also the data that we protect. Banks hold a lot of data, especially PII, so personal identifiable information, which are valuable as well, that the cyber criminals can sell in the dark web or any interested entities. Okay, now we look at the fundamental principles of data protection. These are the foundational practices that help safeguard customer information, support compliance, and reduce business risk. We'll then shift to cyber resilience mindset, focus on from prevention to business continuity. We need to continue as a bank or financial institution and recovery for effective cyber resilience. Modern organizations must prepare not only to stop attacks, but also to respond, recover, and continue operating when incidents occur. We have AI, okay, as cyber defense and help us in governance as well. AI's role as an enabler and defensive tool, emphasizing risk management and governance, is there already. The technology is there. It is now available in the present times. We'll discuss to you the opportunities as well as the risk and why governance plays such an important role. We don't leave AI 100%. We need to govern it. Part of the things that we should do is to have a governance process, ensure compliance, and roadmap focus on practical governance, compliance, and a realistic roadmap for continuous security improvement. A practical roadmap that organizations can use to strengthen their security posture and continuously improve over time will be part of my slides at the end of this, towards the end of this presentation. Okay, so the journey we're taking today moves from understanding the risk to implementing practical actions that support long-term resilience. Okay, how digital banking expands opportunity and risk. Digital banking has transformed the way organizations serve customers for convenience, as well as products that really give enhancement and happiness to their customers. While the opportunities are enormous, malaki talaga opportunities, the risk has also grown significantly. It has really increased. Okay, so now the problems our bank are facing are the threats that are happening and being realized every day, reading from the news, and not only in our country as well as in other countries. There are many risks and threats being realized due to the use of AI and cyber threats. Okay, so customers have transformed. Okay, mobile platforms, I would say infrastructure has transformed. Mobile platforms and real-time payments create seamless, always-on banking services, enhancing customer experiences. Customers today expect fast, convenient, and always available services 24 by 7. Imagine paying your bills at night, early in the morning is now a possibility. And it has been the technology has really been developed to make it more quicker and faster as well. So that's why it also introduces many risks. Mobile application, digital wallets, online banking, and real-time payments allow financial institutions to deliver better experiences and improve operational efficiency. However, there is also an expanded cyber risk. Okay, being online and on the cloud introduces many risks that we will discuss further in this presentation. Every digital channel increases the attack surface. Servers are being hosted not only on-prem, on the cloud, in other countries. These are possible channels that can be exploited by bad actors. Sensitive information is now distributed across cloud environments. And cloud has many hosting, not only on one location, to make sure that there is a high availability. Okay? Mobile platforms, APIs, third-party providers, and connected ecosystems. This shall all be adequately protected. The need for modern security. Okay? Traditional perimeter defenses are insufficient. Now, before we just deploy our security guards to guard our branches, now we need real technology to guard our defenses. Banks must assume persistent threats and potential business. Traditional security focus on protecting a network perimeter. Today, organizations must assume that threats are constantly present and build security into every layer of their operation systems and processes. Customer trust and compliance. Security performance directly impacts customer trust. Imagine your bank being attacked. Of course, your usual thinking is I should transfer my money to another more secure bank. This will impact the reputation of the bank institution or the financial institution. Breaches can erode confidence and invite regulatory scrutiny. Okay, of course, the local regulatory for the Philippines, the BSP, the National Privacy Commissions, they are all have regulation circulars that wants us to protect data and money resources of our account holders. Okay, just right now, there is a circular being effective right now, being released by BSP, the circular number 1213, which tells the authentication procedure to deviate already from the normal OTPs. Okay, so the authentication can now be based on behavior and other data protection. Okay, so the circular tells the banks to have better implementation rather than the usual OTP that is very predominantly implemented nowadays. Okay, Ultimately, cybersecurity is closely related to trust. Customers expect that information and financial assets to be protected. Regulatory expectations are all increasing, making security and compliance essential components of business success. The key message is that digital transformation and security must move forward together. The organization that successfully balance innovation and protection will be the best position, okay, will better be positioned for long-term growth. Okay, what are the key threats facing digital banks today? Now that we have seen how digital transformation expands both opportunity and risk, let's look at specific cyber threats that banks and financial institutions face on a daily basis. Araw-araw po, we begin encountering these kinds of threats. These are the more popular ones. Number one, okay, is phishing and social engineering. Okay, they attack target employees, customers to gain unauthorized access. One of the most common and successful attacks today are these two, phishing and social engineering. Attackers often target people rather than technology because it can be easier to trick someone into revealing credentials or clicking a malicious link than it is to bypass a security system. With AI, these attacks are becoming more convincing and difficult to detect. How many news items that we have seen from TV Patrol or any other institution that there are individuals or organizations that focuses on sending phishing emails and phishing and smishing, those kind of implementation to gain the accounts or take over the accounts of our target people. Okay. Number two is ransomware and data theft. Okay, ransomware has evolved as well. Okay, formally it is just encrypting your data and asking money from the organization before they decrypt the data. Okay, and due to that, it disrupts operation and involves data exfiltration, increased pressure. Nowadays, the attackers open steal sensitive information first and then threaten to release it publicly unless a ransom is paid, even if the bank or the financial institution will recover from their backups. But the stolen information, the PIIs, are already being sold in the dark web or any other interested entities. Okay, so our PII is now as valuable as the money that we are keeping in the bank. This creates both operational disruption and significant reputational risk. Okay. Another one is account takeover and identity fraud. This is due to weak authentication and behavioral gaps that lead to account being taken over and as also identity fraud. Okay. This occurs when criminals gain access to legitimate customer or employee accounts. This can happen through stolen passwords. Weak passwords can easily be stolen. Phishing attacks or credential leaks. Once inside, attackers may perform unauthorized transactions, access sensitive information, or commit fraud using trusted entities. Okay? Another one is the use of AI and insider threats. Digital banking relies heavily on API to connect to mobile apps, okay? Application program interface, okay? Connecting to vendor, to mobile app, to fintech partners and banking platforms, okay? Purely secured APIs can create serious vulnerabilities. Many organizations are just connecting through API, like for example, KYC, on any other process that involves the banking processes, okay? And they use API to connect to the bank. So this is another channel that can be exploited. Okay, purely secured APIs can create serious vulnerabilities. At the same time, insider threats can also happen. It remains a challenge, whether there are malicious actions or simple mistakes made by employees with privileged access. Okay, remember, the biggest threat to the organization are not the external parties. It is who are there inside your infrastructure or working for you. Okay, what's what we call insider threats. They are the one who will be more interested. They, I should say, can be easily be convinced distill data, okay, if they have bad intentions, okay? So in summary, when we look at these threats together, one important pattern emerges. Attackers are no longer focused solely on technology. They target people, processes, applications, data, and supply chains. This is why cybersecurity must be viewed as an enterprise-wide responsibility rather than only an IT function. So lahat po involved. Enterprise na. All processes, okay? If they store data or process data, okay, information, they shall be involved in protection. And not only should be doing that because people are the better channels being exploited by cyber criminals. I often ask organizations when I audit them simple questions. Okay, which of these threats concern you the most? In reality, most institutions will face several of these threats at the same time. That's why a layered risk-based approach to digital security is essential for modern digital banking. To better understand, I will have the next slide real impact of these threats, real incidents. Let's look at some of them. Okay, these are sample of real world incidents aside from the everyday news that we encounter or hear from YouTube or any other news entities. Okay, so let's now look at these two real world incidents. Number one is a case study. Number one is involving Capital One data breach, which occurred in 2019. What happened? The misconfigured cloud infrastructure was exploited by an attacker. Due to this, okay, personal data, approximately 106 million customers and applicants were exposed. Okay, informations included names, addresses, credit scores, and some security, social security numbers. Okay, so key lesson: cloud security must be continuously be monitored. Data protection for secure configuration, least privileged access, and ongoing risk assessment. Okay. So moving to the cloud does not automatically make an organization secure. Proper configuration management, okay, and access control, and regular risk assessment and mitigation remains essential to their implementation. Okay. Another case is this one is very interesting. An AI deepfake fraud, which involves one bank in Hong Kong. It just occurred 2 years ago in 2024. Okay. So what happened? A finance employee was deceived by an AI-generated video and voice deepfakes impersonating senior executives. Approximately 25 million US dollars was transferred to fraudsters and after a fake video conference. What happened is she thought or he thought that she has a meeting with senior executives, giving him or her instruction to transfer money. Okay, but she is actually having meeting or conversation with deepfakes. Okay, not the actual real people. Okay, not her, the actual executive of the banks. Okay, oh, very interesting. Okay, this case reminds us that AI is both an opportunity and a threat. Banks and financial institutions need stronger verification procedures, employee awareness programs, and controls that prevent large transactions from relying solely on email, phone calls, and video meetings. Okay? When we look at these incidents together, a common theme emerges. The challenge is not only technology, it is governance, human behavior, awareness, and risk management. Whether it's a cloud misconfiguration or an AI-powered deception attack, companies must combine strong controls, train employees, and there should be effective leadership to build through cyber resilience organization. Let's talk about data first. Why protecting data is a strategic imperative for financial institution. Okay. Before we discuss the controls, let's first understand why data protection matters so much in digital banking. Data has become one of the most valuable assets that financial institutions possess. Okay. Now, what is the value of data assets? It includes personal, transactional, behavioral, and proprietary analytics, forming a bank's most valuable asset. This information that we collect from from their account holders, okay, drives business decisions, fraud preventions, and customer services. Unfortunately, it's also extremely valuable to cyber criminals, making it a prime target for them. Just one PII, maybe a cost of 1 cent. Imagine how much is the total worth when already millions or even billions of data are stolen. Okay. Number two is regulatory compliance. Strict regulations demands privacy, BSP and PC in the Philippines and all the other technology regulatory bodies demands this. They need to be notified when there are breaches within a specific time, 72 hours, 24 hours, and accountability to protect customer data. Okay, financial institutions are highly regulated. Okay, the regulations require, okay, to protect personal information, maintain accountability, and respond appropriately when incidents occur. Compliance is important, but it should be viewed as a minimum rather than the ultimate objective. Remember, we need to comply first as a minimum, then protect further our data, okay, as a financial institution. Next is data is very valuable and they will be equitable to customers' trust and brand if they are being compromised. Strong data protection enhances customer trust and strengthens brand reputation and is a competitive advantage. Trust is the foundation of banking. Customers expect their data and money to be protected. Remember, a single breach can damage reputation, weaken customer confidence, and impact long-term business growth. Strong data protection helps build and preserve that trust. Enabling secure innovation. Embedding data protection enables adoption of AI-driven services without exposing unacceptable risks. The interesting is that good security actually enables innovation. When privacy and protection are built into systems from the start, privacy by design is what we call, companies can confidently adopt artificial intelligence, digital banking services, and new technologies while keeping risks under control. So data protection is not simply a compliance or technology issue. It is now a business enabler that supports trust, resilience, and innovation. It is really imperative to protect those information. Now, what can we do? What are the possible foundation controls across the data lifecycle? From collection, processing, okay, until the destruction of data. Okay, what can we do? Now, let's look at some of the foundational practices that every organization should implement to protect the data throughout its life cycle. Number one, basic is data classification. The first step is understanding what data you have. Not all information carries the same level of risk. You need to classify the sensitivity level of each data to ensure appropriate handling and protection throughout its life cycle. Data that we are holding or storing can be for public use, for internal use, and for internal use, as well as confidential, highly confidential, or top secret. This kind of level are the kind of different levels are forms of data classification. By classifying data according to sensitivity, companies can apply the right level of protection where it matters most. Okay. Next is we should do encryption and access control. Encrypt the data while it is at rest, while it is in transit, while enforcing strict access controls to minimize unauthorized exposure. When we transfer data to our suppliers, to our customers, it should be properly encrypted and should have a proper access control. Encryption protects information whether it is stored or transmitted. At the same time, access control ensures only authorized individuals can view or use sensitive information. Together, these controls significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized exposure. This one is interesting, and maybe some of you are guilty regarding this control. Okay, do not over collect data. Okay, a simple principle is this: if you don't need data, don't keep it. If you are a data processor collecting data, only collect data that is relevant to your implementation. While you have the data, you have the responsibility to protect it, and you are accountable for it. Limit your data collection and retention. After temporary files are being used for processing, those temporary files shall be immediately be disposed. Okay, the disposal shall be secure, properly secured, so that cannot be recovered. Okay, by any those who have bad intentions. Okay, limiting data collection and securely disposing of information that is no longer required helps reduce both security risk and compliance obligations. Another important aspect is monitoring and auditing. Okay, so we should continuously monitor and audit data sub usage to detect anomalies and maintain compliance with policies. We should know each time the data is transferred, each time the data or information is accessed. That's why it's very important to maintain logs or event logs, administrator logs. Okay, monitoring and auditing help detect unusual activities. It could identify potential misuse and, of course, support investigations and demonstrate compliance with regulatory requirement. So these logs shall be properly protected as well. The access to them or those who can delete them shall be restricted as well by organization. These controls may seem basic, but they form the foundation upon which every successful data protection program is built. Okay. Now, we mentioned about being resilient. Being resilient is not only prevention of attacks, but ensure that you will continue your business even though there are incidents occurring in your infrastructure or in your system. Cybersecurity is important, but resilience goes one step further. It's about ensuring when incidents occurs that you can still continue operation and serving customers. Okay, so outages, you should be ready for that and recover immediately. We're not happy if our banks or wallets are not working. Okay, and gives us a bad feeling and makes us transfer to other providers as well. Okay, so what are the core strategy stages of resilience? Cyber resilience includes prevention, detection, response, recovery, and adaptation to ensure continuous operation. Together, these stages help an organization manage risk while ensuring business continuity and operational stability. Number two, importance of prevention and detection. Okay, our primary defense is prevention from happening. Okay, to ensure that the likelihood of incident happening, we should have prevention processes and controls such as security awareness to our employees, patch management to our operating systems, to our servers and our applications, and proper access control. Detection is equally critical because the faster an incident is identified, the faster it can be contained. Remember, you should know whether you are being attacked already. The really bad condition is you don't know that you are already under attack. So your detection process shall be 100% working. Okay? Response and recovery focus. When incidents occur, organizations need clear response procedures and decision-making process. Quick decisions, okay, leads to lesser amount of money or data stolen. Okay? There should be a containment action implemented by financial institutions. Recovery restores services within the time limit. This is what we call recovery time objective shall be in place. Okay? Recovery to focus on restoring critical services and minimizing disruption to customers, operations, and revenue. Next is adaptation and continuous improvement. The final step is adaptation. Every incident, exercise, or near misses provides valuable lessons. Okay? You integrate these lessons learned to improve future resilience strategies and reduce risk. It's what we call corrective action, learning from mistakes. Okay? you can continually learn and improve. Okay. And generally, the ones that become more resilient are the ones who have learned the lessons well. Okay, in short, resilience is not about avoiding every incident. It's about maintaining trust and recovering quickly when challenges occur. Okay, prevention until recovery, getting back to BAU or back to business normal. These are very important. Okay, these are now the trust being required for financial institutions. Okay, now the best part of our discussion, the use of AI. Many of you are interested with this AI. AI is now a reality. It is now a present condition. It is no longer a future concept. We should leverage from the use of AI. It is already being used throughout the banking operations to make our customers have a better experience, improve efficiency and security. Now, when do we use AI for these institutions? Number one is to enhance fraud detection. AI analyzes transactional patterns in real time to detect and prevent fraudulent activities effectively. It can analyze millions of transactions in real time and identify suspicious behavior that may not be visible through traditional methods. They can do triage, okay, filtering of those events or transactions or even uh, uh, occurrence that may be dubious or need to be investigated. This allows banks to detect and prevent fraud much better. Imagine if this is done manually. It is a lot of man hours required to finish just to do this task. AI is there to improve customer experience. Okay. Sometimes we are happy to converse with chatbots. Okay. We play with them. Okay. And it's really an experience. Okay. So AI-powered chatbots and behavioral analytics help improve customer service by providing faster responses, okay, personalized experience, and more efficient identity verification processes. Okay. AI can also provide us advanced risk management. It can identify emerging trends, okay, and anomalies to improve risk assessment beyond traditional models. They can do threat hunting, okay. They can process large amount of structured and unstructured data to identify patterns, trends, and emerging risks. This allows companies to make better informed decisions and improve risk management capabilities. Okay? And very important, there should be a human AI collaboration. We should not leave AI on itself to make decisions for the bank. Okay? AI augments human decision making only, but there should always be a human collaboration. That's why in ISO 42001, at all stages or phases of AI development, there should be a human, uh, uh, a person, okay, checking on it and making sure that it's still being humanized, okay, making decision based on humans as well, okay, and while AI provides speed and analytical power, human expertise remains essential. So don't worry if you are an IT practitioner, okay? You will not use your job. You still have to be doing the governance of AI and making monitoring and checking its performance so that it will not, okay, do those dark AI reputation that we have were informed, okay, from many uh, occurrence, okay, of bad AI results. Okay, let's discuss on that further. The best results are achieved when AI supports human decision making rather than attempting to replace it completely. The key message is that AI serves as a powerful enabler to help banks become more efficient, responsive, and secure. Okay, how to use AI to strengthen security and resilience. Beyond improving banking operation, AI is also becoming one of the most powerful tools available to cybersecurity and risk management teams. Okay? It is very fast in detecting threats. Traditional security systems often rely on predefined rules. AI can go beyond those rules by detecting unusual behavior and identifying threats much faster, helping security teams respond before significant damage occur. AI can detect unusual login behavior much faster than rule-based tools. For example, if you are in Manila, You log in Manila and suddenly you have another login after just a few minutes in another country. AI can immediately plug that activity for further investigation. AI can also do predictive analytics. It can use historical information, do threat intelligence, and behavioral patterns to identify risks before they become incidents. This will allow organizations to move from reactive security to a more proactive approach. AI can also do an automated incident response. Okay, that can contain threats in a almost real time, reducing damage and limiting attacker dwell time. Okay, so it can isolate device, it can block malicious activity, or even trigger alerts without waiting for human intervention. Okay, so this will limit response time and limit the impact of attacks. Again, human oversight importance is there. Despite AI advantages, human oversight is crucial to validate AI decisions and manage security trade-offs effectively. The goal is not to replace security professionals with AI. The goal is to empower them with better visibility, faster insights, and stronger response capabilities. So your job is still secured. Now, let's manage the dark side of AI that I'm speaking about earlier. So far, we have discussed AI, how they can improve banking operations and strengthen security. However, like many other powerful technology, all AI also introduces risks that organizations must understand and manage. Okay? AI has bias risk or discrimination because they learn from data. Okay? They can cause unfair or inaccurate decisions in critical areas like fraud detection and credit scoring. If the data used for training contains errors, gaps, or bias, the results is expectedly to be biased as well. Like, for example, there is a occurrence of many few years ago in the use of AI in granting loans. They grant more amount of loans to males than females. So that is discrimination. Okay? So they are used for credit decisions and customer assessments. Okay? While using for that purpose, they should not discriminate. They should demonstrate bias and discrimination. Okay, that's why the human side of AI, okay, by having a human governance checking on the AI to validate and continuously monitor the AI model is very important. Another challenge or dark side of AI is data privacy. Okay, using large data sets for training AI raises concerns. Okay, much of the data, okay, may contain personal and sensitive information. Institutions must ensure that privacy requirements are respected throughout the AI lifecycle, from data collection and training to storage and usage, so that no leakage can happen. Okay. Next is the adversarial AI attacks. So adversarial attacks can manipulate AI models to evade detection, produce harmful outcomes. It's like those users or attackers will try to learn the AI or educate the AI to make a wrong decision. Okay, so that it will make a biased decision that is favorable to those actors. Okay, through those what we call adversarial attacks, they can manipulate inputs or data to influence AI outputs and potentially bypass security controls. AI systems therefore need protection just like any other business critical asset. Governance and oversight, the final challenge is governance. Who owns the AI? Who approves its use? Who is accountable when something goes wrong? Who will go to jail? I should say. Okay? This shall be properly defined and part of the governance and oversight. Strong governance and executive oversight are essential to ensure AI operates responsibly and aligns with business objectives. Okay? Now, building trustworthy and responsible AI. If AI is going to play a larger role in banking, then trust becomes critical. Customer, employees, regulators, and stakeholders must have confidence that AI is being used responsibly. Related to governance and risk assessments, okay? Clear ownership, regular risk assessment, This will be conducted by organization to define ownership, clear accountability for all systems. Responsible use of AI principles, transparency, explainability, and accountability are the pillars of AI. It should be transparent. Okay? Explainability. Its algorithm is known. Okay? Transparent in the sense that we can assume that its decision process is known to the makers and to the developers. Okay? Accountability. Okay? Who will be accountable if the AI does some bad results or results to bad outputs? Stakeholders should understand how important decisions are made and have confidence that those decisions can be justified and reviewed when necessary. Okay? We should control our third party and have vendor management. Many organizations obtain AI capabilities from external providers. While the technology may come from a vendor, the responsibility for managing risk remains within the organization. This makes supplier evaluation and ongoing oversight extremely important. Building trust through governance. Ultimately, trust is earned through consistent governance and execution. Strong policies and effective controls, continuous monitoring, and leadership commitment all contribute to responsible AI adoption and sustainable business outcomes. Okay, from strategy to execution. This is what we should do as an organization or banking institution. Okay, it is what we call the resilience part, from strategy to being implemented. Okay, understanding the risks and opportunities is important, but success ultimately depends on execution. This slide provides a practical roadmap that organizations or banking institutions or financial institutions can use to strengthen data protection, cyber resilience, and AI governance. Number one is to do assessment and prioritization. The first step is to understand your current state. You should assess existing capabilities, identify risks, and prioritize initiatives that deliver the greatest business value and risk reduction. Secondly, is strengthening your controls. Okay? Organization should strengthen your control across data management, identity and access management, infrastructure security, and monitoring capabilities. Strong fundamentals provide foundation for resilience. We should do a lot of training and incident testing or BCP testing. Technology alone cannot solve security challenges. Okay? Employees need regular awareness training, and institutions should normally test their incident response through the BCP and disaster recovery simulations or exercises. Okay? Practice improves readiness. And lastly, continuous improvement. Cybersecurity, resilience, and AI governance are not one-time projects. Threats evolve, technologies change, and regulations continue to develop. Continuous improvement ensures that organizations remain effective and prepared for future challenges. Okay, as we reach the end of our webinar, I'd like to summarize the key messages that I hope everyone will take back to their organizations. Okay, data as a strategic asset. Data requires robust protection as a critical strategic asset in digital environments. Just like financial resources, it creates value, okay, and enables innovation. Because of its importance, protecting data should be the business priority as well. And it is not, as I mentioned earlier, just an IT responsibility. Being cyber resilience from strategy to business continuity, okay? The ability to continue serving customers and recovering quickly when incidents occur is our trust. The goal is not just to prevent attacks, but to maintain trust and business continuity. Next is AI. We use AI. Okay? AI is a powerful ally. When properly governed, this can improve our detection process, okay, strengthen risk management, and support faster decision making. Okay? However, AI should be responsible and should have an appropriate human oversight. Lastly, is we should integrate security strategy. Successful security programs require a right balance of people, processes, and technology. Technology alone cannot solve cybersecurity challenges. Organizations succeed when leadership, employees, governance, and technology all work together toward a common objective. So there is one message I'd like to everyone to remember today is this. Protect data as a strategic asset, build cyber resilience, not just cybersecurity, leverage with AI, and with effective governance, and more effectively create a culture where people, processes, and technology work to protect trust. Organizations that do these things well will be ready to face these challenges and are well positioned to thrive in digital banking. Thank you for your attention and participation in my part of the webinar
Yeah.
discussion, further
Thank you,
discussion.
Nap,
Thank
for
you.
your sharing, no? So I'm sure everyone is looking forward to the Q&A. But before that, I'd like to turn over to Yasmin. Pagpahingay mo muna natin ng saglit si Sir Nap before we answer your questions. Yasmin?
Yes, thank you, Miss Ava. So, again, good morning, everyone. So, allow me first to introduce myself. My name is Yasmin Gubatan, one of the client solution specialists of BSI Philippines. And on behalf of the team, we would like to thank you for attending today's webinar. We truly appreciate your time and we're really grateful for the continued trust of our existing partners as well as the opportunity to connect with potential partners. And as mentioned by Sir Nap during his presentation, with rising cyber threats like phishing, ransomware, and identity fraud, the real question is no longer if an attack will happen, but how prepared your organization is to respond and stay resilient. And as the world's first national standards body with over 120 years of experience in developing best practices, BSI has been helping organizations build trust, resilience, and performance globally. So we begin by helping not just financial organizations, but also other organizations to strengthen their human firewall through targeted training and capability development. So this ensures your organization is not only aware of threats, but also equipped to respond effectively. So our team can support you through artificial intelligence training, from awareness and requirements to implementation and auditing. We can also provide enrichment courses such as guidance on risk management and trustworthiness in AI, helping you manage AI safely and responsibly as it becomes embedded in banking corporations. In addition, next slide, please. And in addition, we can strengthen your organization's core foundation through ISO 27001. This helps you build strong information security and protect against cyber threats. We also have ISO 27701. This will help you enhance privacy and safeguard your customer data. We also have ISO 20000. This ensures that your IT systems services remain reliable, resilient even during disruptions. We also offer advanced courses such as CQI and IRCA certified courses for ISO 27001 lead auditor as well as the ISO IEC 20000 lead auditor. We can also support your organization through globally recognized ISO standards. This is a combination with training to build real capability within your teams. So we have the ISO 27001. This helps you secure your systems and manage cyber risk. We also have the 27701, which strengthens data privacy and protects customer information. We also have ISO 22301, which ensures business continuity during disruptions, and the ISO 42000 or the Artificial Intelligence Management System, which enables responsible and secure end use of AI. So through this integrated approach, we can help you move from reactive risk management to proactive resilience. And with BSI as your partner, you're equipped to protect it. And I have also included in my slide my contact number if in case you have other questions. So I will now move the floor to Miss Ava.
Okay, thank you. So while you are completing the feedback poll, we will also start our Q&A, no, for the rest. So Sir Nap, okay, while they are replying to the poll, could you help me answer this first question? As AI becomes both a powerful cybersecurity tool and an increasingly sophisticated attack vector, what governance framework or best practices do you recommend for ensuring that AI enhances cyber resilience without introducing new operational or data privacy risks?
That's an excellent question. Okay, it talks about all about the concept that I have discussed earlier. Okay, so it starts with your risk assessment, developing what are the highest risks to the organization or financial institutions, and develop controls related to the threats. Okay, especially those high risk, we should give actions and plans to mitigate them and make sure that they are already mitigated and already lowered the risk, at least to the acceptable level. Okay, the governance part will be the same. Okay, you should have established monitoring and auditing part. Okay, from establishing those controls to mitigate those risks, these should be completely monitored. And don't forget the human oversight that I have mentioned earlier for the AI managed infrastructure or implementation to be effective and still humanize and implement human factor in our implementation. And the lastly is make sure that your testing, okay, and simulation activities are performed on a timely manner, on a regular manner to continuously educate our employees and people on how to react related to cyber threats that are being implemented by bad actors. So all of this infrastructure are summarized in our standard, ISO 42001. An organization can apply for certification related to that to properly understand the whole requirement, including establishing from strategy until business continuity, and in between are the governance and auditing part. Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Thank you, Nap. So, due to time constraint, we will answer one more question. How do we ensure that the information is secured with the vendors who are working on our client data core information?
Very good. A very nice question. We are heavily dependent on our vendors, on API providers and processors, as well of data, especially in the banking institutions. Okay. Number one requirement is for you to educate your vendors what are the expectations that should be observing the minimum regulatory requirements regarding the protection of data. Okay. As I've mentioned, those controls that I have discussed like data minimization, data classification, encryption, all of those should be also be required to your vendors. Regular vendor evaluation and auditing related to your information security controls shall be also be implemented so that they will be, okay, always be on their aware of the requirements and constantly implement it. Of course, technology, like for example, while the data is in transit, it should be properly encrypted when the storage is also be access control and the return or deletion of data when they don't need that anymore.
Okay, thank you, Sir Nap. If you could move maybe to the next two slides, no? Because it's already 11:02. We have some of your questions. We can provide you the answers if you provide we have your contact information anyway, so we can send you the answers to your questions individually. So I'm ending also the poll right now. Thank you for those who participated. And if you have any further questions, please do scan the QR code and watch out for our next webinars on different topics. Thank you, Nat, for sharing your
Thank you.
insights and your expertise. Thank you.